I'm at Sustainability Live 2013 and I'm with Martin Stephenson of Schneider Electric. Martin, mandatory carbon reporting came into effect in April this year. Can you tell me a little bit about what's involved in mandatory carbon reporting, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So the UK has a clear commitment to reduce its carbon by 50% by 2025 and has a further strategic goal to reduce by 20% by 2020. As part of that and as part of the Climate Change Act of 2008, there was a discussion piece around mandatory carbon reporting, specifically, I guess, for the larger UK companies who are on the stock exchange or on the New York Stock Exchange. As a matter of interest, some of the French companies and subsidiaries already have this requirement in place. So in April 6th, there was the final piece of the jigsaw puzzle, which was the legislative requirement to produce mandatory carbon reporting as part of your annual financial report. So that touches upon some 1,800 companies at this moment in time in the UK, and it's our belief that that will go further over the coming months and years, whereby that will be all-encompassing with regards to small and medium enterprise companies as well.
So tracking and reporting emissions sounds like it's going to be a big job, but what's involved?
Well, at this moment in time, the requirement is for Scope 1 and Scope 2 reporting, which would be anything that is pertinent to your business would be Scope 1, and anything from a generation, a transmission and distribution would be Scope 2. Moving further onwards, we'll be, I guess, looking at Scope 3, which would touch on the supply chain of that company, looking at travel, for example. So the requirement would be for a customer to collate all of his information that is distributed around his sites currently on carbon emissions, which could be existing softwares, building management systems, spreadsheets, access databases, Word documents, word of mouth, and to consolidate all of this into a legislative report as of the 6th of April 2013.
Sounds like a lot of work. How's Schneider Electric helping businesses with this?
Well, the ideal situation would be to have an automated system, obviously. That takes out the necessity for the excessive manpower, but it also takes out any concern over the accuracy of data. In France, at this moment in time, for example, the mandatory reporting is in place and it is independently audited. We believe in the UK that it will be independently audited moving forward. So the collection of all that data is critical, and an automated system makes total sense. So from a structureware point of view, as part of EcoStructure, the vision is to make sure that all of our softwares are integrated and that there is total clarity with regards to the emissions, both carbon and energy usage across all of the sites, whereby a CEO or a CFO or any senior manager would be able to press a button and get clarity on the carbon across an individual site or across a multiple of sites.
So that would be real-time reporting, in fact?
In some instances, yes. It's our belief that the likelihood is something of that ilk is only required every 6 months or every 12 months. However, I guess it depends on the customer's requirements as to the granularity of data. Obviously, it makes more sense to measure more often. It's difficult to try and reduce your usage if you're not measuring and monitoring. So granularity of reports is critical if you're looking to be an efficient and effective enterprise. And there is some discussion to say that the more transparent you are on your carbon reporting, the more likelihood a key investor would look at you as a viable proposal to put his money. So absolutely, at this moment in time, it's a 6-month, 12-month requirement for the larger 1,800 or so customers. We believe that will increase over the coming months and years. Real time, not necessarily. Not necessarily, as you can imagine, the investment required by some of the small to medium enterprises, for example, would be huge compared to any true return that they would expect from external investors, for example.
So Martin, Schneider Electric can provide professional services as well as software, can they, to help businesses with with carbon reporting?
Absolutely. I guess the software is the starting point, whereby an automated process to allow you to press a button and get total clarity on your energy usage, but also your carbon emissions and reporting would be an ideal situation. However, we realise that in some instances these software systems could be seen as expensive and for no true return on investment, I guess. We would argue that. However, we've enabled a 24/7 bureau to be able to engage with our key customers, to understand possibly the bespoke reporting required, or those little nuances that certain customers or segments would want above and beyond the standard automated reports from any software system.
What are the penalties for not including this carbon reporting in your annual report?
Okay, so at this moment in time it's part of legislation as of the 6th of April, and it will be audited by the regulatory board from a financial point of view. Moving further onwards, we believe that they may look to engage third parties to independently audit. As you can imagine, it's quite easy for the UK government to audit 1,800 companies across X amount of sites, but as this legislative requirement is expanded, it's going to be an interesting challenge for the government themselves to audit these reports. So our belief is that moving further onwards, that independent third parties will be used. But absolutely, it's a part of legislation, therefore there are severe financial penalties to be borne should they not be successful in proving and justifying the statements that they're making on their annual report.
How can companies find out more from Schneider Electric about the services they provide then, Martin?
Okay, we have a dedicated professional services business unit, and the ambition of that unit is to engage fully with customers, to understand their specifics on their sites, whether that be multi-site or single site, whether that be a floated company or whether that be a small to medium enterprise. I would ask them just to engage with our professional services division. Let's sit down, let's try and first seek to understand what their key issues and concerns are, and then we'll look to put a bespoke proposal together to try and, I guess, take away their pains.
Martin, that's great. Thank you very much.
Thanks.